Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Raven Creek here in our new area of the zoo, our new South American adventure-ish. I don't know, I don't have a final name for this zone yet, and I'm always happy for suggestions in the comments about this final name. But yeah, we are back after last week's showcase of Isle of the Wild. We are now back in Raven Creek and we are continuing building in the new South America trade, as I just said. And this time we are focusing on the big indoor building, or the big backstage building that you guys probably saw if you watched the tour 2 weeks ago of the whole area. This was just a bunch of plaster pieces on the ground. And now we are filling out these plaster pieces with walls, doors, with fences and everything, with rooms and lights and stuff like that. And at the end of this video, there will be a finished building in the terms of that all the walls are there, all the lights are there, all the fences and everything is working. But there will not be any detailing so far, because this video, as you can probably guess from the runtime already, is quite long. And if I would have also included all the detailing, so meaning all the tools that the keepers need, all the gutter rings and such, all the animal stuff that we need for these, so that the animals can be cared for, all the stuff like that, the kitchen and the storage area, everything like that. This video would have been probably double the time, double the runtime. And so I decided that at the end of this video, there will not be a tour of this new area. There will be some cinematic shots, as you probably know from the beginning of most of my videos. And then next week, so if you watch this, this is the next video, and whenever you watch this, the next video that is released, there we will have another tour video, so not a speed build video, but a tour video. And then I will go over all the backstages, not only this one, but also the smaller one for the main wolves and the pecaris. And at that point in time, I will have made all the details and all the extras for this building, or I will have finished all the detailing extras for these buildings by then. And then we will do a small tour where I will showcase everything and will explain everything, and maybe also show a thing or two if it's worth showing in the maybe a speed build. I don't know yet how I want to do that next week. Of course, definitely a showcase, not a speed build video, but maybe I throw in some other stuff in the mix. We will see. I will see what future Pacha is doing with that idea. But for now we are focusing on building the main structure of this very big indoor building, backstage building. And I have to say, I don't know what I named this video yet, but this is most likely my most realistic and most detailed backstage building that I ever did. I won't say it is 100% realistic or anything, or that it is ultra realistic as some people claim their stuff to be, which is another story of itself. But I say it is as realistic as I can make it, and as I are capable of doing. And with that, I'm happy about it. And for me it works. I don't know if it would work in real life zoo. As I said, most of the inspiration for this area came from Zoo Leipzig's South America area, and of course this backstage building is also directly taken from there. Thankfully they have an amazing TV series called Elephant, Tiger and Co, where they basically show the zoo behind the scenes with commentaries by the staff, by the keepers and everything, by the personnel, and where they show basically the daily zoo life for viewers in the TV. And luckily, because of that, I have a lot of insight, or I got a lot of insight into the backstage area of South America. I made myself a little folder on my PC with screenshots of that series, because it's also available on YouTube, and with screenshots of all the different areas of that backstage building, to be able to recreate it as good as possible. You're also seeing me probably all the time already. You're seeing me using these finished doors and walls and everything, and some of you might think if they missed something, if they missed a video, or if I'm taking these from the workshop or anything. Both of these answers I can answer with no. You didn't miss the video, and I don't use workshop items at all in this build. All you see on the screen is made by me. I just made these fences and doors. I pre-made them before I started recording, just because for once to cut down the runtime of the video, and secondly because these doors and everything have a lot of details in them. They require a little bit of time and testing and failing and doing stuff again. And I can work best if I don't have the pressure of the recording running simultaneously and me trying to do something in a matter of a shorter time. Because when you are recording, you're always a little bit under time pressure, because you of course don't want to have your video being extremely long or anything, or with long pauses of nothing and cutting everything out and everything like that. It's just a nightmare. So I decided to pre-made the walls, at least some of the walls. We are now making some new walls, so you can see the process, and all the fences, because they're very detailed, with a lot of small stuff. I made them before and then just use them here. But if you haven't already seen this, I uploaded all the fences, the backstage indoor fences and gates and everything. I uploaded them to the workshop. I will also, if I remember it, leave a link to that workshop page down below in the not in the comments, but in the description of the video, so you can download them yourself. You can use them yourself. They aren't that piece heavy, but of course if you use, I don't know, a couple hundred of them, of course the piece count adds up, so be aware of that. They're also partially completely recolorable. I think some parts are not, but most of the parts are recolorable. Of course the wood and the metal frames are, so you can also use them maybe for on show areas, not only backstage areas. But the plan, what is the plan for the next time? As I said, next week a showcase video of the finished detailed backstage areas, and then the week after that, most likely maybe already if our first habitat build of most likely the Patagonian areas, so the llamas and emu/rhea, or they are a stand-in for the rhea, as I explained, because we don't have them at the moment. But mostly a first speed build of the first habitat, something like that. We will see. If you have other ideas or wishes for how I want to address this area, if I just should do showcases, no speed builds, or vice versa, let me know, of course, in the comments. And the other thing, you can let me some comments in the down here under this video, or on social media, wherever you want to see this video and wherever you want to comment, is of course, maybe you have seen it in the beginning, is we finally have a trailer, not a trailer, an intro for Raven Creek. If you haven't skipped the first seconds of the video, you probably have seen it. I put some time into making finally an intro for this. We have over 30 parts in this video series. So for a series that is already running for almost 1.5 years, I finally came around to make an intro for that. And just let me know what you think of this intro. Do you like it? What would you change? Do you have other ideas? Of course, I'm open to suggestions and open to changes. I quite like it. I could like it a lot, and let me know what you think and what you think about it. And I think there will be some changes for sure once we have more to show in this zoo. But for now, I quite like the idea of it with the wolf and everything and the music coming together. But yeah, we are now also approaching the outside walls of this building, and for some it might sound weird because I'm using the opaque glass here as an outside wall for this building. And because the real life version, which is colored red, not green, also has these metal plates on the outside. I don't know if it's for insulation, to keep the heat in, or it's just for, yeah, the looks of it, so that it looks cool, but which I don't think is a necessity because the guests don't see it. And of course it could be for the keepers, but yeah, they also have these metal plates, and I couldn't find a really good metal plate that was shiny but not too shiny, so I used the opaque glass, which I think is also the first time I'm using this glass in my whole career in playing Planet Zoo, but it turned out really nice. I'm later changing the color of the glass to a more grayish green, so to show a little bit of age. But yeah, I quite like how it looks. It looks modern, and especially from a distance, it kind of blends in with what will become later a bit of more of a forest, especially behind the llama enclosure. So it will not be as visible from the guest's perspective. But yeah, funnily enough, this whole building, I think, caps in around, I don't know, 4,000 pieces, so quite a bit, and it's still not done. I'm still need to do, as we are at the moment here, you can see on the screen the kitchen I need to do, and I need to make a full fake kitchen for the keepers, because the keeper building doesn't fit in here. Next to that we will have a little of a storage room for stuff like building material or enrichment stuff, and then next to that will be, in my mind, or for now I will have a little of a freezer to keep vegetables, meat and everything like that fresh. I haven't even talked about, I think, about the animals we will have in this house. If you could, of course, if you haven't watched the last video, then you probably don't know. And you're now thinking what he was talking about something about llamas, and now he's talking about meat. What's up with this guy? This backstage area, this big backstage building, will be home to 4 different species of animals. So it's quite a big number for that space. Of course, as I said, we have the emu and the llama, or the rhea and the llama in the foreground, where you saw these stables. So here, where we are at the moment, where I'm now placing these doors to the outside, these will be the stables for the emu and the llama, a more classic stable building. And then in the back, more on the back, when this building curves around, we will have on one side the stables or the exhibits for the giant anteater, and on the other side of that hallway we have the indoor holding for capybaras. So emu, llama, capybara and giant anteater will be housed in this building. And then, of course, we also have the main wolf, and this will, which have a different an extra housing on the other side of their exhibit, which is also not visible for guests. And they will share their housing with peccaris, which we don't have yet, maybe hopefully in the future, and the capuchin monkey. And then we will have also an extra housing for the tapirs. But speaking about the tapirs, I'm not too sure about the tapirs yet. The real life inspiration doesn't have tapirs, they only have maras with the capybaras in the Pantanal section. We don't have maras. And I don't know if I should replace them with tapirs, as they are quite big. They require quite a little bit different maintenance and upkeep and security than a mara or a pampas hair. And I was thinking about maybe adding flamingos, but flamingos also don't really fit the Pantanal idea because they are not really found in the Pantanal. I'm not sure. I'm not an animal expert in any level. So if someone from that region or with better knowledge can let me know if there are flamingos found in the Pantanal. Let me know. Otherwise, I probably will stick with the tapir, but not feeling too sure about it yet. Of course, still hoping that we will get Maras or Pekaris at some point in the game, so that I can put them in here. I don't think we will get a Reha or Vikuna or Guanaco, but if you do, of course, I will also replace the Llama and the Emu with these two birds, with these two animals. And of course, once development is over, I will also think about maybe using mods to place these animals, but this is still a thing for the far future. But yeah, at the moment we are building the indoor areas or we are working on the doors to the indoor area for the giant anteater. And if you are wondering, no, sadly no, none of these gates for any of these animals does work or lets them through. They are actually big enough. I tested it and put it over a giant anteater and a capybara and a llama and a emu. They should be big enough normally to just walk through these gates with no squishing through or anything, or trying to force them through. They are big enough to let them through, but of course Planet Zoo with its giant hitboxes makes it a little bit more complicated, which is kind of shame. But of course the habitats are extended to that area, so if at one point in the future Planet Zoo decided to maybe do something about the hitboxes, or if I use mods at some point, they would be usable by the animals that are part of the habitat. So there's that. Now we are, I think, on to the last two steps of this build, now building the lighting, and Pacha is doing it wrong. But what are you doing here? No, I'm not doing the lighting wrong, or I'm doing it wrong, but I will do it right in a moment. I'm just placing them upside down so that I can see where all the cables are going, where all the lights are, and it's less of a hassle than to do it in the other way around, with looking up and trying to place lights and cables the other way around. So I just built that this way, and then I flip the whole thing horizontally, and the lights will be in the right position, the cables will be in the right position. Just as a small tip here for building, saves a lot of time if your lights are as easily built as these ones are, and it makes it easier for you to build than instead of doing afterwards with looking up the whole time. This is my experience. I'm also cutting out a lot of stuff here towards the end. You will see in a couple next shots that I already did all the lighting for the animal areas, for the keeping areas, not only for the floor here, but also for the animal stuff. But I cut that out because it was basically the same procedure as with the hallway here. 4 times I think I had to do that, and just for convenience I cut it out. So don't worry about that if in the next shot the whole roof is filled with plaster. And then we are getting to the last step of this build later, which will be the rooftop, or what will be on the roof, where I decided to go for gravel, which is nice for draining the rain if it's raining, for keeping the water, but also for maybe future plant growth that might occur, at least better than a metal roof or anything like that. So this gravel is at least nice and natural, and so I did that. But yeah, I will now leave you to the rest of the video with some nice music. As I said, no real-time part at the end, just a small overflight cinematic shots of the area, and then next video we will have the real-time part in a showcase. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. If you do, maybe consider giving this video a like. I would highly appreciate it. And if you feel very happy, maybe also consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And then I wish you a great time. Stay safe, have an awesome rest of the week, and I see you in the next video. So until then, bye bye everyone.